guys, welcome back to my channel. I want to do a book haul today because Book Outlet decided to have way too good of prices. And also I do have a little bit of a tradition. When I finish a tome, I let myself buy books. Usually only 2 or 3, but with Book Outlet prices, 2 or 3 is like 20 for the price of 3 books. And then there was a couple in here that I bought because Amazon was having a really good sale. I really hate supporting Amazon, but I really love cheap books. And as a college student, it's rough out here. I wish I could be one of the girlies that supports only indie, but I don't have the money for that. So we will not be doing that. I try my best to go to indie as much as I can, but unfortunately I do use a little bit of Amazon. And a couple of these, I just needed something from Amazon quickly, and I needed to buy more, so they would give it to me. So that's the other category of books. And then lastly, I also wanted to show you guys my library books, because I think those are fun to show in a book haul. I'm gonna read them. You'll probably see me read them at some point. First of all, Dialbound. This is my current read. Okay, my goal was to finish this in like 3 days, and I think it was stressing me out, so I wasn't enjoying this. What's happened so far in the book, I can tell you about that. Her sister has gotten taken by something called the Navos, and they kind of just use these young children in a very disgusting way to feed their power. And then she also sees everybody else in her community kind of being taken, and you get this feminine rage because people in her community are being taken, and it's really unfair. And I love the feminine rage. Scream! Scream! So, that's Dialbound. And then next, this book I put on hold when I first got a library card, which was like, well, actually maybe not when I first got a library card. When I was getting back into the library, when I was starting to read more, back in February. It is now end of June. I put this on hold, and I thought it froze all my holds for the break. Apparently I didn't, and this one came in, and I was like, oh shoot, I should probably go pick that up. But from what I understand, it follows a family who lives on an island, very secluded, and then somebody shows up at their door, and is like, mysterious things start happening, and you kind of learn a little bit of Dad's past and those secrets that you probably shouldn't know. So that's why I don't show up. And then the third book I got at the library was Rose in Chains. I don't know a single thing about this. I think this is like prophecy fantasy, so she has to complete a prophecy. But other than that, I'm not too sure. I have heard great things about Julie Soto though. I know she originally started with fantasy that's kind of wrapped, romance fiction that's kind of wrapped in fantasy. This is her first like actual fantasy book, so I'm excited to see that. Also, do you see that man's face? He looks tasty. This is Ship of Spells. I'm not too sure what happens in this, but I know it's a pirate fantasy, and I've been looking for more sea, mermaid fantasies for the summer because I think that's a lot of fun, especially like on a cozy summer day when it's like downpouring outside. Immaculate. Next, let's go in the order that I bought most of these books in. So first we have Kings of the Wild, which I actually own Kings of the Wild and the second book in this series on Audible. And then I saw it on sale on Amazon, and I was like, I need it. This is like man fantasy. I don't know if that tells you anything about it, but essentially this like disbanded group of men, of mercenaries, get back together because one of their friends needs some help. Here, I can read the back to you guys. Glory never gets old. Clay Cooper and his band were once the best of the best, the most feared and renowned crew of mercenaries this side of Wild. The glory days long past. The monks have grown apart and grown old. Fat, drunk, or combination of the three. The ex-bandmate turns up at Clay's door with a plea for help. This kind of mission that only the very brave or very stupid would sign up for. It's time to get the band back together. That one line sold me. I don't know what this is, but let's get the band back together. I agree. Next, I got this as a box set for 25 bucks. And I have a feeling I am gonna be obsessed with Red Rising. I have heard Red Rising is the worst of the trilogy from my understanding because Pierce Brosnan was forced to write this one. And then, but the other thing is, because he was in All Idols block, this is what I've heard from the internet. Because he was in All Idols block, it's like crazy and like you can't trust anything. That's what I need. I need chaos. I don't know who's gonna die. Pick it out of a hat. If you get the reference, you get it because he picked it out of a hat. I guess let's do last 2 Amazon books and then the rest are Book Outlet, which I'm looking. I can't believe I got this many books from Book Outlet. Jeez. The Sum of Broken Rules. I believe she's going through a lot of grief, but she goes to a wedding where they participate in a game called Assassin, which if you don't know what that is, you get like, so you're in a like huge group, right? And you're given a name and you have to shoot with like a water gun or something, like a Nerf gun, and like film it. So they all play a game of Assassin, but she gets paired with this man and they spend a summer and they kind of fall in love and have some fun, which good for her. Good for her. This speaks for itself. I read the first book of the DCC series. I've been trying to find a way to get my hands on the physical copy because I prefer reading physical books. I do read audiobooks sometimes, but I really enjoyed this as a physical book. And if I enjoy the first book as a physical book, that's the way I'm going. I know the audiobooks are great. I will be reading the physical books. I can reread as an audiobook, but for right now, my first read through of the series, give me them pages. Give me them pages. This is The Summer You Were Mine. It's a summer romance set in Italy, and she has to go hang out with a family friend who I think she once dated. So it's like a second chance romance. It might be dual POV, I'm unsure. But I do love a dual POV summer romance. And I got this mainly because I have a video idea with a ton of summer romances. And so I needed some more. That's the other thing that I let myself go a little crazier than I would usually. So I'm like, it's for the video. She says as she's uploaded 2 videos in this time and point. But it's a great excuse to buy books. Keep me going, guys. Let me keep buying books, please. I love Like the Sun. This book I have looked at for so long. I didn't even know what it was about. I was just like, this is the prettiest cover I've ever seen. I need it right now. From my understanding, this is also a second chance romance. Very emotional, set in the summertime. Oh, I think there's fake dating involved from the sentence I just read. And the cover is gorgeous. It's a short little thing. I think I'm gonna eat this up. In one of my previous videos where I showed you guys all the books on my physical TBR, I showed you Daughter of No Words. It's also in the video where tarot cards pick the books I buy. And then I saw the second book in the series for $5.99. I said I need that. So we got it. Wisteria and Foxglove. I guess it's the other way around. I read Belladonna forever ago and I was obsessed with it. The way Adeline Grace writes is so beautiful, and like I can imagine where we are in the gothic setting so well. But I never felt the need to go to the next book because the first book kind of ends off on a satisfying ending. But when I saw these 2 books for $5.99, I was like, I need them right now. I do want to show you guys the way the interior of Wisteria looks because it is gorgeous. Give me a second. So here's the whole back, right? And then this is the front page of this one. It's so gothic. I love. And then, who's that man? Who's that man? I'm excited to find out. Also, that's the other thing I use this book outlet sale to do, is kind of try my best to complete some series or get some books that I've really been thinking about. Some of them were impulse purchases. I was like, that looks pretty, I need that. But most of them are like well thought out. Next we have Alice Feeney, Good Bad Girl. I'm pretty sure this is about an old woman doing crimes, which, love me an old lady. And an old lady doing badass shit, fuck yeah. So that's good bad girl. Also Red, Beautiful, Ugly. The plot twist in that one, amazing. I think it is this author that they've said that she's kind of repetitive, but I forget a lot, so I'll let it be repetitive and be happy about it. These next three I have another video idea for. I'm gonna show them in succession. As a hint, I've never read horror before, and all three of these were in the horror genre of book outlet. First, we got the Executioners 3. I believe this is about some high school students, and they find a dead body. Like I said, I've never read horror, so I can't even begin to think about what this book is about, but it sounds fascinating. We Live Here Now, I think, is like haunted house horror, which after reading The Villa, I've been like really contemplate. That sounds so interesting. And then The Book of Thorns. I mainly bought this one because it was in the horror genre and I needed horror books for the video I was thinking about. Also, I don't know why I didn't think in the moment to just go to the library and try out some horror books. I need to get myself together. I think it was mainly because I don't really have access to a library where I am right now. Takes a while to get there, so I thought I wouldn't be going to the library this summer, but I figured out a way, because if there's a will, there's a way. The Book of Thorns, I mainly bought this because the word book in it, and I really love books about books. They're very fascinating to me. Guys, this one's pretty. This one's really pretty. Son of the Morning. I'm gonna be honest, I bought it mainly because of this cover. He looks like an angel. Those wings on it. Let's see. I'm just gonna read like you know how it has the top where it's like, it's trying to entice you to read the blue. From New York Times bestselling author Awaki Emezi comes a steamy paranormal romance set in the Black South, a bold new foray that takes on a journey of magic and fantasy. From the whispering creeks outside the city of salvation to the very depths of hell itself. Sounds pretty epic. Anyways, so first of all, let's look at. Wait, I just realized, is this two different men? Like I said, I know nothing about this. And then we got the beautiful sprayed edges. And then if you take it off, like I don't know. Oh, there's some look at that. Wait, the hands are holding right here. Is this a love triangle? And then look at the inside. Like, it's not like an amazing image, but it's so pretty. Also, look at her. She looks like such a fun lady. I love it when authors like add a little spunk to the photos. Last thing, look, the wings are on the inside of the page flaps. I love that. So, Son of the Morning, super pretty book. Sounds really intriguing. Know nothing about it. Then we have We Who Would Die, which this also has sprayed edges. Sprayed edges, and then we got a cool map on the inside. know this is like a Roman fantasy fight to the death. I've never read anything like that, but I did put it on my summer TBR just because I've seen everybody talking about it. Fallen Gods, I saw it in Target forever ago, and I was like, that is gorgeous. I want it so badly. Then I looked it up on Fable, and I was like, it only had like 3.6 stars. And I was so disappointed because the premise sounded so intriguing, but the star rating was so low. When I saw this on Book Outlet for like $5, I was like, I'll waste $5 to figure out why this is bad, or gain so much, you know? Let me show you the inside. That looks epic. Also, and then here's the thing. It is on Kindle Unlimited. I tried it on Kindle Unlimited. I can't read on the Kindle Unlimited on my phone, and I don't have a Kindle, which is why I prefer reading physical books. But if I read on Kindle on my phone, I just want to go scroll on YouTube, and I can't be having that. So let me give you that short snippet at the front to tell you what intrigued me about it. They said the gods were a myth, that the giants were only stories told around dying fires. They lied. And then in the author's note, she talks about how, I think either her dad or her grandfather told her all these stories about like the gods and stuff, and how that inspired this story. And I was like, that sounds so interesting. Let me get into that. But then I got disappointed. I have yet to read it, and I'm very happy that I got it. Okay, here's another book I got because it was pretty. Again, if you give me a pretty book and it's $5, she's going home with me. So it says, you never forget your first love, especially when he's also your worst nightmare. The synopsis is kind of reminding me of Belladonna in the way that kind of death follows her. I'm very interested in this, and I feel like this is going to be a great fall read. Especially with how short it is, I'll definitely be able to finish that. These two books, House of Bane and Blood and City of Moth and Malice. Cassidy from Covers with Cassidy posted a video talking about the most underrated books or underhyped books in fantasy, and like she actually showed the amount of people that rated it, and it's very low. But this was one of her favorite duologies, and I kind of trust that woman with all my recommendations because so far she has not led me astray, and it's like the first YouTuber that I've watched that it's like that is my reading taste. So I got these two. I have no clue what it's about, nor do I want to know before I go into it. I'm gonna have fun. There's some snakes. I'm terrified of snakes. Or maybe it'll be some sexy snakes, so if you know what I mean. And then we have A Broken Blade. This I originally got on Libby as an audiobook. I was like, that's so interesting, but I wasn't that into audiobooks at the time. And I wasn't great at like intentionally listening to them, so I ran out of time on Libby to listen to this. And then I saw it on my birthday at Powell's, and I was like, that sounds so interesting. But then I looked at the reviews and I was like, not that great of reviews. But I also know that I enjoyed this a lot, at least the beginning part. And so when I saw it for $5, I was like, what am I to lose? Like, it's a short little novel. It's only $5. Worst I'm gonna lose is time. I got enough of that on my hands. So we picked this up. From what I remember, she works for the king as like kind of a killer, and then she goes, I think, to the Fey world, and she works to kill fairies, I think. Then she goes to the Fey world to kill like a very important fairy, but then she kind of starts developing a relationship with that man, and she kind of realizes how bad the king is, and you follow her through her journey. Again, I haven't read that much of it, but I do know I thoroughly enjoyed it. Then we have feel like this is big news for some people. Fourth Wing. I feel like everybody in the mother has already read it, and I'm just slacking behind. If you don't know what this is about, she bonds with some dragons. She goes to a magical school. There's a man. Sassy dragons. That's what I've been told about it, so that's what you get. And then next, I'm actually really happy that I got all these books, but I'm gonna tell you this before I show you. They don't match. That's so sad. They don't match. They don't match. But we got the Legendborn trilogy. This is another series that I think I'm gonna absolutely devour and be obsessed with and love so much. Just because I think this in my head, from what I've heard, the stakes are so high in these books, and that's what I love about like the reads I read. I love high stakes. I love good characters, and this seems to be all about that. There's also an underground society, which is nothing like I've ever read. Sign me up. Sign me up. So let's go through the covers real quick. I mean, I think you obviously know what all these books look like. So we got Legendborn. Why did Target have to put the sticker in the middle? Blood Malt. And then Oathbound. This one, she is chunky. I'm gonna be up in this for a minute. 642 pages. Anyways, you guys wanted to see the mess I've created. I have a lot of books to read. I'm gonna have a fantastic summer reading all my new books. It's gonna be a great time, and I hope you guys stay with me and we can do some fun reading vlogs together, and we can yap about books. If you have any favorite series, I'm more than willing to read anything anybody suggests to me. If you suggest me something, it will be in the Libby. It will be on the library. Wherever I can find it, I'm gonna read it, so that way I can tell you what I think about it. Because I got some opinions. Are they good opinions? Who knows? But will I be there right with you? Yeah, I will. Anyways, I had so much fun talking about books, as I do. And I really hope you guys have a wonderful day.